Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications. Want to welcome you guys in here. If you've never been to the channel, this is where we talk about Hotshot. We do it live, we answer questions. We've got a great bunch of guys that are on here. Some are drivers, some are coming into the business, and we try to have a good time and keep it lively. All right, so first things first, we want to thank all the veterans and first responders out there for all you do and all you continue to do for this country. We would be nowhere without you. Thank you very much. God bless. All right, so we have a reminder that we have a mentorship program on the Patreon site. If you guys join that, it's all the proceeds to it goes to the Wounded Warrior Project and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. All right, well, here we are. I hope everybody's had a great week. We are, it's always hump day, man. It's the day I like to do this because we're on the downside now. So this week, in the little bit of trucking news that I have, it's been kind of a quiet week. It's not a whole lot going on. Diesel prices actually went up for the first time in a minute. They went up 2 cents average on the gallon cross country. Brake safety week. You remember the blitz, which is a 72-hour blitz. They were focusing on safety. Well, August the 20th through the 26th will be brake safety week, and they're going to be looking at brake linings and pads for the full week. So if you're out there, guys, make sure your stuff's right before you get out on the road because they're going to be checking. Now, during the brake safety week, law enforcement officers will inspect brake systems and remove commercial motor vehicles found to have brake-related out-of-service violations from the roadways until those violations are corrected. So, they're getting pretty nutty up on this brake stuff, and they should. And I've had 2 guys out for the last. I had a guy out for a week, then I had another guy out that was out for a few days because his brakes failed. So, all right, good news on this. Been following this pretty tight, and it looks like they're working this deal around the clock. That's the I-95 bridge collapse up in Philadelphia. They are actually saying this thing could reopen by the end of June, and that is crazy. Them guys up there need to be praised for what they're doing. So, yeah, at the end of June. June. Yeah, June. No, June. All right. So, crazy schnit you see out here on the highways every day. This picture was provided by William. Although this vehicle is properly tied down, it's just an ugly tie job. It just couldn't get much uglier than that. So, yeah, that's just some crazy mess right there. Now, the next one is kind of the cool picture we got in. That was sent in by Kevin. Kevin and William were actually at the same place at the same time picking up freight. And I thought that was a really cool picture.
They didn't know each
other. And yeah, they didn't know each other was going to be there. So that was pretty cool. All right. So I believe that's it for that. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about before we go too crazy is making sure that when you're driving that you're always aware, because guys, shit happens in a blink of an eye. And I got a video I want to show you. It was sent to me by a friend of mine off his dash cam. And I mean, this kind of stuff it happens instantly. Check this out. I mean, just like that, if the driver of this Mac hadn't been paying attention, it would have all been over. So, when you're out there and you're on the road, you can guarantee that stuff just like that's going to happen to you. And you have to be focused on your job. Okay. All right. So this is my fun part. Let's go over and see who we got. Hey, Ralph. We got William, Ozzy, Jeremy's here, Vipo, Alan's here, Mr. Johnson's here, Mr. Robinson Jr. is here. I don't know that name. Sal? S. Silmez. All right. So anyway, glad all of you are here. And so let's open this up to the floor. We have a good many of the guys here today, and we want to see what you got to ask. So okay. What do we got?
About your trucks.
Okay. Yeah, they tried to give me his pay. I got you. Kevin's paperwork, right? Okay. Yo, said Johnson Robinson. Yeah, Alan, you've been missing in action, brother. What you been up to? All right, so let's move on with this just a little bit until we get some questions. We got this DOT week coming up in August. Everybody you have plenty of time to make sure that your brakes are taken care of. We have a interesting situation going on today, and that is, well, it started yesterday, and we're not quite sure what we got going on just yet. Jeremy took a load down to Florida. The factoring company kicked the load back and said that this particular broker was being didn't have an authority. And when I went and looked, that broker with that address does not have the authority, but the parent company has the authority. So we're juggling this kind of stuff every day, trying to make sure, one, we don't get double brokered on, and two, to make sure we get paid. We get, Jeremy gets paid. But this is the back end stuff, guys, that you've got to stay on top of. If you're a single owner operator, you have got to, be on top of your money, because if you're not, you're going to get ripped. Something else, when you start factoring loads, understand that no matter what they do, there's going to be no non-recourse. I don't care what they tell you. Eventually, you're going to get a charge back on this stuff. Now, one of the things, or they're charging you 6, 7, 8%. Okay, that's the deal. So, just so you understand something, once you start factoring, you have to stay on top of those 30, 60, 90. You're aging. You've got to stay on top of that. And it got to the point, I think it was last year, that I ended up, I hired a person to, as soon as that thing goes to 31 days, I sick my watchdog on them, and she goes after him, wanting to know what the heck's going on. The other thing, if you're out there on your own, you want to be sure that you are credit checking these brokers, every load, every broker, every time. Hey, Noel. I'm glad you could make it, buddy. But you have to understand that nobody cares about your money like you do, and you got to stay on top of it. Human error occurs. Even that occurs. I mean, we've had mistakes here where we screwed up. We fix them, but things happen. So always rest assured that the people you're doing business with are in the business and have an authority that uh, you know that's you're going to get paid. So you gotta have that system in place. All right. So what do we got? Anyone else have an issue? Yeah, you're gonna have. Yeah, okay. Listen, Ozzy, you're gonna have issues when you're hauling heavy with 10-ply tires and you're not dead on the air pressure. Uh, Especially when it gets hot or you're hiring through the heat, you have got to pay attention to your air pressure. I fill a bunch of them in the summer. I run 10-plies on mine. I've never upgraded them. I'm still on the originals. No, I'm not. I've replaced them all. But uh, yeah, just understand that air pressure in the heat uh, and weight is going to kill your tires. So if you're not checking your air pressure every day, you need to be on it every other day. So, you know, let's, I hope that answers your question. Uh, Anyone else having issues with them? This is it. I've got this. Okay. Next question? Yes, please. QQQ. What is the best way to tarp load? When it sits 8 feet off the deck and your tarp is 2020. Sets 8 inches or 8 feet? 8 inches. Says 8 inches off the deck. Mr. White, come back to me on the see, D-ring, all of you hanging over the deck. You can tarp the load and you run your D-rings back up under it is how I'm thinking. But if you could give me the length and the width of it, you're talking about it sitting 8 foot wider or 8 inches wider than your deck. Is that correct? Go to the next question. Please come back to me, Mr. White. Yep. You keep track of severe weather as you travel. Yes, we do. If there is something that is, we run severe weather reports out of here. And if there's something crazy going on, we send it out to our drivers. If there's snowstorm or tornado watch or whatever, and we have drivers in the area, we'll send it to that driver, that particular driver. But you need to keep you need to keep track of the weather, because that's one of the conditions you could run into that will delay your load. Okay, hope that helps you out. Where are we at? Okay, what's the $2 mile? What's $2 a mile? Okay, look, here's the thing. You have to know the cost to run your truck. Okay, $2 a mile doesn't mean anything to me. It's my minimum. I won't go below it, and that's just because I don't want to, not because the cost of my truck is. My cost of my truck's about, I think it's $1.03, $1.04, something like that to run it. But what you have to understand is that is getting into the business right. And you have to know, as a business owner or as a truck owner, you need to know the cost to run per mile. You have to know that. If you don't know that, you don't know whether you're in the money or you're not in the money. So you got to figure that out. And, there's sheets that you can just go down: truck payment, trailer payment, insurance payment. You always figure 9,000 miles a month. That's what I figure. So I figure 9,000, and I use $2, so that's 18,000. So that's your income side. Now, if you run less than 9,000, that's going to drop. But you figure your truck payment, trailer payment if you have one, insurance payment, factoring fee, whatever you got there to go out. If you pay a driver You have to figure that cost in there. So you have to figure out what your hard cost is. You're going to have hard cost and you're going to have soft cost. So you got to figure out what that is. And if you're going to drive 9,000 miles a month, I always figure on 9 miles to the gallon. That's how I do it. And that will give you a good base and get you close. And as you run, you can adjust those numbers. But if you're starting from zero, then you need to have a start point. And that's a good start point is 9,000 miles, $2 a mile. It gives you a base of 18,000. Hope that helps you out, Bernie. If not, hit me back. Okay. What? Okay, so
it's 8 inches tall.
It's 8 inches tall. Stainless steel rods. Tarp is 8 foot by 6 foot drop. So the D rings. Oh, dude, listen. I don't know the width of it. You said you gave me the length. It's 8 inches tall, which is, you know, if a woman's measuring it, you know, it's this big. But so, but anyway, you know, it's 8 inches tall. Just look. When you unroll, leave your tarp. Don't completely undo your tarp. You don't need to cover your whole deck. You just need to cover the product. So you open up the tarp as far as you have to and stop. Then you strap over it and it will lay in place. Okay, just because of the weight, it'll lay there. And if you're not comfortable with that, run a couple long straps around the end, or you can bulkhead both end with a 4x4 and just cut it off and you'll be fine. Don't sweat that, man. That's an easy tarp. I thought this thing was massive, but that's just a little one. If it's little, don't unroll your whole tarp. Only roll out the exact amount that you need. Okay. Hope that helps you out, brother. What else we got? Any way to get a CDL without school or no air brakes? Yeah, you don't look. You don't have to take the air brakes. Okay, you're gonna have to go to school. For those who didn't catch the February 2022 deal, February 7th, 2022, the law was enacted. At that point, you have to go to school. You have to take a class of so many hours to get your CDL. You guys just missed the boat on that. I preached it for months. All right, so sorry about that. Mr. White, I sent a text with how I did it. It was freaking out. I was freaking out. It's all right, brother. Send me a text. I'd love to see it. I'll put it on tomorrow's stuff. But, you know, it's don't make it any more than it has to be. You know, you don't want to use 30 shingle or 30 square shingles, for example, on a 10 square roof. You just undo the ones you need, lay it out, strap it down. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay. Ralph, what pic did you send me, brother? I'm getting all kind of stuff in here now. That's a good one. Ralph did good. I don't know if I can, Ralph, I can't make this happen right now, buddy. I can turn my camera around. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, Ralph, you did a good job on that, buddy. I bet your wife wrapped that up. I bet you.
Practice after Christmas.
Where's the first one? I lost one of them, Ralph. I got the one inside. Ralph did a really good job on this one. Except I can't turn it around to show it to you. You know, sometimes you just got to be smarter than what you're working with, guys. And I don't claim to be that. But every time I turn it, it turns. So, but Ralph had it. He's got it just like I said. You know, good job, Ralph.
Let me see if I can fix it.
So, yeah, I'm not messing with that. Ralph, I'll get back to it, buddy. You just got to be. So, what other questions we got? I got Kevin on here. Kevin finally come back to work after vacation. Let me bring him up here. Hey, Kev, I see you walking around. What you doing, man?
Living the dream.
Where are you at walking around?
Ashland, Virginia.
Okay. All right. How was vacation?
Vacation was not long enough.
Well, welcome back.
I'm out here humping it, so I can go on vacation again.
That's right. That's right. You work to live. You don't live to work, brother.
That's me, man. That's me.
All right, I'll come back to you. I'll come
All
back
right,
to you.
brother.
All right, but all right. So there's Kev. He finally got out of Margaritaville. So all right, Bernie asked a question here. I'm going to throw it up here. Jeremy answered the question in his opinion. That's the best GPS for Hotshots, and I'm very, very guilty of this, but I do use Google, and I use it because it's the most accurate. But just so you understand, I carry a Rand McNally with me. I'm not saying it's the best. I don't know Garmin from anything. Don't know it. But my Rand McNally has killed me because it just absolutely took me to the wrong place. And it saved me when I got out in the middle of Missouri and there was zero cell service. So when I got out there and there was zero cell service, just so you understand, it doesn't work. You can't do it. I had to have something to keep me running. And Google, if you don't have cell service, doesn't work. Okay, so because they ping off towers, it's not a true GPS. Ralph said that he liked the Garmin 800. So there's two for Garmin of the guys I know and trust. So I hope that answers your question. Did you get that fixed?
Check text message.
Okay. Text message. Got it.
No, from me.
Oh, from you. Which one?
Text message.
Uh,
Email, text message.
Just regular?
Yep.
Oh, there it is. It came in. Okay, Mila fixed it for me. All right, so you were asking, sir, how to torque something that's really low like that, and I hope you can see it.
Yep.
But that is a good answer for you right there. You don't worry about the D-rings in this case. You just tuck this stuff under. Don't unwrap your full torque because then you have to deal with your full torque. Here, you only have to deal with what you've unwrapped. You unwrap it, lay it over the sides. Once you unroll it, then you open it up and just open it up enough to lay over the sides, and that's all. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do we got? Okay.
Comments about the GPS.
Yeah, we're still running on the GPS on that side. All right, guys. Couple of the things that are really important out there is, and these goes for my guys that are here, speeding. Guys, they are going to be cracking down on speeding like you don't even know. And it's going to be when you're really not paying attention and you just, hit a speed zone. And Uncle Sam and Mr. Bear is going to be there, one with their hand out and the other with a speeding book. So we got to really curtail that kind of stuff. Okay, what do we got? King of none. Well, hello, sir. Is it better to finance your truck personally or in the LLC name to get started as a startup? Do it personally if you got the credit. If you don't do it personally, then you have to go get a business loan. Okay. So that's what I would do.
Which is much higher percentage.
Yeah, it's going to be a higher percentage rate. It's going to be harder to get. Just so you understand, you're going to end up co-signing for the damn thing anyway. So my suggestion is get your own. Mr. Carlin's here. Carlin Price, the police officer out of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you could make it, brother. Hope everything is going. So when you are choosing a GPS. Okay, if you're running Hotshot, a couple of the things that you have to understand on on uh, on my GPS, it will take me on a truck route, and I don't necessarily need to be on every truck route because, like that load we just showed you, or the pictures of the guys hauling that stuff, you're not 13. You're not over 13.6. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about uh, truck route, so to speak. You can get away with a little more in a hot shot. I didn't really feel like the trucker GPS, other than the emergency shit. I don't have any phone signal. Really works for me a lot. So if I was in a 53 at 13.6, I'd be on it every day. But I'm not. I'm not anywhere close to 13.6 ever. I might be when I put an F750 on the back of it. I could be. I think it was 11.5, 12 feet, but nothing more than that. So I don't really run that Rand McNally much. All right, so all right, questions or it looks like they're about done. I hope that everybody has a great week. I hope that everybody stays safe. Love your family. And if you're out there, enjoy the ride. Not every road's going to have, it will be smooth, and not every day is going to be a good day. And you got to understand, uh, that, look, shit's going to happen. Life's going to happen. Life is literally 1% of what happens, and 99% of how you react to it. So think about that. And yeah, and just so you understand, hold on a minute. Jeremy makes a good point here. Google gets you in trouble with links. That's right. That they will, and you have to be careful. And let me just tell you, don't let Google say, "Hey, I found a shorter route." Don't do that, man. That will put your ass over a mountain in a New York minute. I will tell you that. So Jeremy's right. It will. Uh, I've never been in trouble due to length. I've been on a couple pretty small roads that I wish I hadn't been on, and if I'd have known better, I wouldn't have done it. So what I normally do, it sounds crazy, but I will set the trucker GPS, the Rand McNally up, set it up, punch it in there. Another problem with the Rand McNally I found is a lot of addresses aren't in there, and you end up having to try to get to the center of town. So anyway, we'll do the trucker GPS, and then I'll back it up with the Google Maps, and then I'll look at them back and forth. And let me tell you, I did a video on ones why you don't want to use Google Maps, and it's true, because one of them said it was 166 miles, and the other one said it was 66 miles, and I was like, oh shit, I ain't going 100 miles out of the way. Damn, I wish I'd have went that 100 miles. I was across every cow path. Oh my God. You have no idea. So, all right. So, hey, Robert, I'm glad you made it, brother. We got another question. Bed removal, is that necessary? I have a 450 and a PJ 40. All right. So, let me tell you something. Now, you're going to hear me tell you this, and I will tell you again today, is that I'm slightly over 65 feet, and I'm not removing my bed. I'll take the ticket if that's what it comes to, and I'll deal with that when it comes. But, guys, you do what you feel is right. The law says if you're over 65 feet, you need to be on a cabin chassis. Okay. I haven't done it. I don't intend on doing it unless I get caught somewhere and they absolutely make me do it. I'll come home and think about it. But I just, I can't do it, man. I just can't make that deal because not over a couple inches. If I had Robert set up, if I had Robert Kahn set up, absolutely, I'd be on cabin chassis. He's got a 53-foot trailer. Yeah, so I would have to be on cabin chassis. So, yeah, you guys got to do what you feel is right for you. Okay. All right. I hope that helps you, man. I really do. Now, I think everybody's done. What I try to give you here is the best advice I can give you. I'll tell you what I do, good, better, indifferent. If the if I'm wrong about something, I always come back and try to correct it. So, all right, guys, again, what is it? Check engine light come on with diff filter. Do we have that problem with the Dodge Ram? I think you have that problem with all of them. If it's not properly cared for, I have never changed a diff filter. Has anybody here ever changed a diff filter? I did not. So I'm really I really don't have a good answer for that. All right, so Jeremy come up and said he only removed his bed when he was hit. Right. See, that's sort of how I feel about it. Yes, Ram has that problem. Have my DPF changed at 50,000. Wow. Okay. All right. So I may be looking for a diff filter. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Mr. White. All right. So the guys are basically not asking me anything. They're just sort of chatty Cathy and in the back. Miss Mealy, you got anything? No? Okay. Well, we're going to run this out. I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time. See you.